The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
And welcome to the regular meeting of Weyburn City Council held in the council chambers at City Hall, 6 p.m. Monday, September 9th, 2024. Tonight, I'd like to note, Councillor Van Betju is absent. First thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting on strategic planning and priorities meeting held August 12th, 2024. Do you have a motion, please?
Your Worship, I'd make the motion that the minutes of the regular council meeting and strat planning meeting and priorities committee meeting held August 12th, 2024 be accepted as presented.
Seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Additions to the agenda, Mr. Warren?
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. Administration has no additions tonight.
Council?
16th Street.
16th Street?
Yep.
Okay, and where would you like that added? You want to have inquiries or?
Probably under new business.
New business?
Yeah, it's a question in regards to the construction and the phases that they're in.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, Your Worship, that would be going under 11.
No, under 11, just the inquiries and announcements.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so, okay. If none, there's no public hearings and notices, no delegations, proclamations, or petitions at this time. There's no reports of standing committees. We have the consent agenda, which includes the building report from August, the cash activity report from July, the fire report from August, the public works report from August, and the water treatment plant report from August. These should have a motion to receive and file.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that the following items on the consent agenda be approved: the building report for August, the cash activity report for July, the fire report for August, the public works report for August, and the water treatment plant report also for August.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? An unanimous vote on that one, and these will be found on the City of Weyburn website. On mine, we have the motion for the accounts payable. Do you have a motion, please?
Thanks, Your Worship. I would make a motion that purchases from August 1st, 2024 to August 31st, 2024 in the amount of $2,228,352.66 be approved for payment. These purchases include Quick Pays, $283,795.04, accounts payable, $1,452,898.21, direct withdrawals, $488,917.01, and debit card transactions, $2,742.40.
Your Worship, I'll second that motion.
Discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. The introduction of bylaws, bylaw 2024-3485, the Water Works bylaw. Renee, please.
The City of Weyburn has a Waterworks Bylaw 2007-3088 and Sewer Service Bylaw 2007-3089 that regulate and levy fees or charges for the utility services. The City of Weyburn currently has water and sewer rates established until December 31st, 2024. The City of Weyburn provides the following utility services: water and sewer for the City of Weyburn, water for the Weyburn Utility Board, and water and sewer for North Weyburn. Utility rates are designed to cover the operations, treatment, storage, and distribution, and capital projects related to water quality and regulatory requirements. All operations for utilities are funded through utility fees or utility grants, and taxation does not contribute to the cost of utilities. The water and wastewater service charges are based on water meter. The water and wastewater and infrastructure volumetric charges are based on consumption. The base charge is to ensure a certain minimum revenue to deliver the service. Below is the table of current utility rates as of January 1st, 2024. Then we have a table breaking down the capital expenditures for water and sewer system capital costs. Quite extensive list. Then we have the water usage. The following table will show the City of Weyburn water usage data from June 1st, 2019 to May 31st, 2024. So the proposed changes, the engineering department has conducted a full review of both utility bylaws and are proposing the following changes. In waterworks, language updated to be gender neutral. Section 9A3, updated properties listed for property subdivisions for existing water service connections. Section 56, removal of, excluding Section 55. Section 64, repeal current bylaw. And Section A, or Schedule A rates. Below are the tables of the water rates per cubic meter and the water base charge per month based on size of service. Then we have the water and sewer connection fund, again, based on water meter size. For sewer services, the language updated to be gender neutral. Section 25A1, removal of and exclusive of charges made for lawn and garden watering as provided for under bylaw number 2007-3088, referred to as the Waterworks bylaw. Section 49, repeal current bylaw, and Schedule A, the rates. Sewer rates, the proposed sewer rates per cubic meter are shown below for the city and rural customers. Below that is the sewer base charge per month based on water meter size. The following is an example of the monthly charges for a City of Weyburn property with a 5/8 utility service. You can see the January 25 increase from the previous month is $6.68. In January 26, $7.23, and January 27, $7.23 again. A public notice will be published in accordance with the city's public notice policies. Notices will be advertised in the September 11th and 18th edition of the Weyburn Review, posted at City Hall and on the city's website. It is recommended that Council gives first reading for bylaw 2024-3485, being a bylaw to regulate the use of waterworks and the levying of fees or charges. It is recommended that Council gives first reading for bylaw 2024-3486, being a bylaw to regulate the use of sewer service and the levying of fees or charges.
Do I have a motion, please?
Your Worship, I would move that Council give first reading for bylaw 2024-3485, being a bylaw to regulate the use of waterworks and the levying of fees or charges.
Your Worship, I'll second that motion. Sorry, Jeff.
Discussion? Mr. Jenke?
Great report, Renee. Thank you for the detail. Two quick questions for you. Is it fair to say that with these rate increases, we're still among the lowest of cities in the province?
Yep, we are still quite low for rates.
And second question, just in regards to the Section 25A removal of and exclusive of charges made for lawn and garden watering, that's not really changing anything, that's a clarification, is that correct?
Correct. We haven't lowered rates for watering for quite some time.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Any other discussion? Go ahead.
Thanks, Your Worship. Yeah, I want to reiterate that this has been a lot of work, and I know you and your department have had this on your desk for a long time, so I appreciate it. I like where we've come to. Mine's not a question, but more just making sure that I understand, which I think I do, and so that we know what we're saying. The Service Connection Repair Fund remains, and I think that's important, but there are some changes to that, correct? Sorry.
Yeah, so we have some minor changes to that. It's to where the property line is.
Right.
And the direction towards the property line. That's the main thing we're trying to change within that. to make sure it's more clear within the bylaw. Currently, there's some differences of views when you read over that. We want to make it more straight and to the point for anyone who looks at what the regulations are around that.
Yeah. Good. I appreciate that I understand the difficulty in these costs and trying to keep things from jumping too high. So I appreciate the work that went into that, but I also think it's important that we kept that the way that it is. So I'm certainly in favor of both of these, but I just acknowledge that it's been a lot of work.
Thank you.
I'd just make a quick comment in regards to water and some of the information and stuff that I've seen come across my desk in the short time. I can appreciate where these costs come from. It's not it's far from a revenue stream. Let's just put it that way. No pun intended.
With that, no more discussion and call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Bylaw, sewer bylaw. May I have a motion, please?
Your Worship, I move that council give first reading to bylaw 2024-3486, being a bylaw to regulate the use of sewer service and the levying of fees or charges.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimous. Bylaw 2024-3484, lane closure amendment. Charlie?
A request has been received from Kevin Mell on February 20th, 2024 for the closure and sale of a lane originally described as Street Lane 19, Plan AZ357, Extension 0. Bylaw 2024-3477 was approved by council and submitted to Information Services Corp, or ISC, to close and consolidate the lane with the other parcels purchased by Mr. Mell. The reason for the proposed closure was to eliminate the opportunity for vehicles to shortcut across adjacent lots and to allow the adjacent property owner to use the lane. Public notice was sent out in accordance with the city's public notice policy for the public hearing to occur on March 25th, 2024 at regular council meeting. Notices were advertised in the March 6th and March 13th editions of the Weyburn Review, posted at City Hall and on the city website. Additionally, neighborhood notices were mailed to all property owners within a 75-meter radius of the property. No other responses were received. No new notices will need to be sent out. ISC reviewed and denied the application due to a minor discrepancy in the legal description of the lane. The submitted bylaw had the wrong extension number for the parcel Street Lane 19, Plan AZ357, Extension 0, and must be amended to Street Lane 19, Plan AZ357, Extension 19. It is recommended that council give second and third reading for bylaw 2024-3484 and direct administration to resubmit bylaw 2024-3484 to ISC for approval.
Do I have a motion, please?
Okay, just to be clear, I have a first reading of this also. Okay. I would move that bylaw 2024-3484, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3477, be read a first time.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Discussion? Go ahead.
Thanks, Your Worship. Shirley, thanks for just a little bit of clarity here. There was no concerns with the work or anything. It was just simply a digit that needs to be corrected.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks.
Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously.
Your Worship, I would move that bylaw 2024-3484, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3477, be read a second time.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously.
Your worship, I would move that council agrees to give a third reading to bylaw 2024-3484 today.
Discussion?
Yeah, I'll second that, your worship.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously.
And lastly, your worship, I would move that bylaw 2024-3484, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3477, be read a third time and to direct administration to resubmit bylaw 2024-3484 to ISC for approval.
I'll second that, your worship.
Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Bylaw 24-3487. That next one that's on the list there. Are we good on this one, Shirley? Because I have a second one here.
A request was
Oh, for the Ross Veterinary Clinic, right. Go ahead.
A request was received from Ross Veterinary Services for the closure and sale of a portion of the lane originally described as Street Lane 10, Plan T116. Bylaw 2024-3479 was approved by council and submitted to ISC to close and consolidate the lane with the other parcels purchased by Ross Veterinary Services. The reason for the proposed purchase of the closure is to allow for the consolidation of lots 11 to 26, Block 219, Plan T116, for the development of a new veterinary clinic. Public notice was sent out in accordance with the city's public notice policy for the public hearing to occur on April 22nd, 2024 at regular council meeting. ISC reviewed and denied the application due to a discrepancy in the legal description of the lane. An extension number for the portion of the lane should have been provided from ISC prior to the creation of bylaw 2024-3479. As such, Street Lane 10, Block 219, Plan T1166 has been converted to Street Lane 10, Block 219, Plan T116, Extension 10. This refers to the portion of the lane lying south between the northeast corner of Lot 28 and the northwest corner of Lot 11. Currently, Street Lane 10 within Block 219, in its entirety is T-shaped, as seen below in the image. So the highlighted section is the lane that they are applying for. The staff recommendation that council gives second and third reading for bylaw 2024-3487 and direct administration to resubmit bylaw 2024-3487 to ISC for approval.
Do you have a second reading?
Thank you, Worship. Actually, I think this is similar to the last one where I have the first, second, and third readings. So I will make the motion that bylaw 2024-3487, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3479, be read a first time.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that, your worship.
Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Second?
I'll make the motion that bylaw 2024-3487, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3479, be read a second time.
I'll second that, your worship.
Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously.
Your worship will make the motion that council agrees to give third reading to bylaw 2024-3487 today.
I'll second that, worship.
Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously.
And lastly, I'll make the motion that bylaw 2024-3087, a bylaw to amend bylaw 2024-3479, be read a third time and passed, and to direct administration to resubmit bylaw 2024-3487 to ISC for approval.
I'll second that, your worship.
Last call for discussion. Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. No unfinished business, new business. Flag raising policy update. Tina.
Okay, in October 2019, a flag raising policy was approved by City Council. The policy was created to establish guidelines for the raising of flags at City Hall in recognition of established guidelines of the Government of Canada and the Office of Protocol in Saskatchewan. The policy has been updated with more concise language and to set clear guidelines on the city's involvement with the ceremony. Item 4J states that the city clerk's office will confirm the date and time of the flag raising ceremony, confirm the mayor's attendance for a brief speech at the ceremony, and invite council members and staff. An organization does not have exclusive rights to the day, week, or month of the request, although the date requested will be priority. Prior to the policy update, applicants stated the day they were hosting the ceremony and council representation wasn't expected. With the update to the policy, the expectation will be that the mayor or deputy in their absence will provide a brief speech or greetings on behalf of the city of Weyburn. The city clerk will confirm this and provide details of the ceremony to the applicant. This process will also help with the regulation of promotion of events prior to council approval. I recommend that council approves the amendments to the flag raising policy as presented.
Your Worship, I'd make a motion that council approve the amendments to the flag raising policy as presented.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Discussion?
No questions, just well done administration. Thank you for all your hard work on this.
Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Park concept plan. Andrew?
Thank you, Your Worship. So in 2022, the former Hague school site was acquired by the City of Weyburn with the intention of maintaining the current sport infrastructure in place and developing the remaining space into a multi-use recreational park. During the 2024 budget process, $15,000 was allocated towards consultant services to conduct community engagement and develop a basic concept plan for future development purposes. Once completed, the concept plan will act as a starting point towards a multi-year phased-in plan of capital investments to the park. Through the tendering process, Crosby, Hanna and Associates was selected to develop a multi-phase design for the new park space, utilizing best design practices and obtaining community feedback through stakeholder engagement and public consultation opportunities. Following an extensive design process, including site surveys, stakeholder engagement, and community survey, the attached draft concept plan has been developed for the location formerly known as Hague Park. The development of the new park is expected to take place over at least 5 phases spread out over a number of years, with an estimated total outsourced contractor cost, including a 25% contingency of $2,450,590. The total actual cost of this project is expected to vary as there is an expectation that some work will be completed by the City of Weyburn crews and some features may differ based on service expectations and cost efficiencies and/or changing trends. It's proposed that construction of the park will be funded through several avenues with heavy focus on obtaining funding through community groups, sponsorships, and government grants. All efforts will be made to minimize the cost impacts on the City of Weyburn. The overall park design is intended to benefit all demographics within the community, providing various opportunities, addressing current gaps, increasing service levels, and establishing new amenities. To ensure that the park will meet the needs of the community, several engagement opportunities were held, including a community stakeholder meeting, Weyburn Youth Council feedback session, and an online community survey which received over 900 community member responses. So following the engagement process, a draft design has been developed, which was finalized utilizing the community feedback. The most notable features within the proposed concept plan include on-site parking, landscaping and irrigation to the west half of the park, sport court / winter ice pad, permanent washroom facility and maintenance building, an outdoor picnic area, walking pathways, a modified cricket pitch, improvements to the current baseball diamonds on site, and several benches, tree plantings, garbage cans, and other park fixtures. So it's my recommendation that City Council accepts the draft park concept plan to be located at the former Hague School site, allowing the Leisure Services Department the opportunity to begin seeking out funding sources and planning towards the initial stages of the park construction.
Have a motion, please?
Your Worship, I would move that council accept the draft park concept plan to be located at the former Hague School site, allowing the Leisure Services Department the opportunity to begin seeking out funding sources and planning towards the initial stages of park construction.
Your Worship, I am pleased to second that motion.
Discussion? Go ahead.
Thanks, Your Worship. Andrew, thanks for this good report. Just a couple questions, and as much as anything, some clarity. You said about 900 folks responded to the online survey?
Yeah, so the community survey was put out primarily through our social media feeds and advertised on our website as well. And we had 900 community responses, which is, in the grand scheme of things, really good feedback for a community our size. So we were very happy with the number of comments we received, and also we had some sections which allowed further input from the community, and it was really nice to see that people were actually putting some thought into their answers and giving some, some good insight from their perspective as what they'd like to see in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's very good. A couple of things from those surveys, and I sat through the presentation you did for Youth Council, and one of the messages that they emphasized was, if you're going to do the thing, don't kind of try not, whatever. So, from that or from the 900, do you think there's anything that we're leaving out that the community has really emphasized through all of that? Is there anything that's been a big item?
No, to be honest, I believe, we tried to hit as many different demographics as we could in one park space, and we are limited with size. So if size was no talking point, if we could.
So the NASCAR track didn't
Yeah,
come
that's
to
not going to happen. And we tried kind of finding that middle ground, trying to appease as many groups as possible and provide lots of opportunities in there. And I really think that what we have there is a solid plan moving forward, and it's looking at the coming trends that other communities are starting to see. One nice thing is this is a concept plan, right? So things may change as we go. It's kind of like our Tattagua master plan, Tattagua Parkway master plan. It's that steering document that we still refer to when we go through our budgeting process and stuff. But if we notice a change in the community's want or their need, or a change in trends, we can always adapt as we go. Also, obviously, a concept plan is the Rolls-Royce version. So if we need to make little changes along the way to cross the finish line with quality park space, then we can do that as well.
Yeah. Glad to hear you say that, because that was one of the things I wanted to touch on. This is a 5-year project, so things could get changed in between now and 5 years from now. That's good to hear. Pump track, great. I think that's something that our community doesn't have. Great addition. Secondly, is the cricket pitch. I think that is a great addition to our community as well. But can you help me understand what a modified cricket pitch means?
Right. So in order to fit in a cricket pitch, we couldn't go with a full-size cricket pitch. The location of it, it looks like we lost the feed. The file might have crashed the system. It's pretty big. Basically, where we're placing it is in an area whereby it can be used when other sports are not going on. We know that park is heavily used by minor ball during the ball months, but there's a lot of time outside of that ball season and a lot of days when maybe minor ball isn't making use of the space. So we're actually looking at some options to place it kind of between the ball diamonds so that they can play cricket from east to west during times that the ball diamonds are not being utilized. And then on the flip side, the ball diamonds will remain, as far as the plan speaks, they'll remain without outfield fences and stuff like that, so that space can be utilized for multiple different things, whether it's cricket or other events or anything like that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. Councillor Richards kind of stole all my questions again, so rather than... I don't know why I share those with you. So rather than ask any questions, thank you so much, Andrew, for all your hard work. I also want to take a second to recognize Todd Bedore, Reed Anderson. I'm sure I'm missing some guys who worked really hard on this also and kind of brought this whole idea to fruition who are here tonight. So thank you for all your hard work and thank you for your attendance. And I was going to ask about the cricket pitch, but I guess that's already been answered. I'm thrilled to see that there's a ice pad on here. Just this afternoon, I'm not going to name names, I'm certainly not going to name ages, but I was talking to a young fellow member even older than me, and we could both remember when there was a ice skating rink on the Don Mitchell thing. That was my playground when I was a kid, and I think a lot of us grew up playing in that playground. So the idea of expanding it, we're going to bring hockey back, is a wonderful thing for our community. So thank you to everyone who put in so much hard work on this.
So we had a motion already, and then call the question. All in favor? Carried in the minutes. Now, just before we move off this,
one more thing.
Like to say something?
With that, it spoke in my report that if once given the approval, I'd be able to seek out some funding sources. So I'm very pleased to announce that we've officially found a funding source, and we're 30 seconds into the park, so off to a good start. I'm pleased to announce a new partnership that we formed with the Weyburn Young Fellows Club. They've generously committed towards the naming rights of the new park. What was the former Hague School Grounds will soon be known as Young Fellows Park. The exciting agreement marks another significant collaboration between the city and the Young Fellows, further enhancing what we can offer back to the community. So throughout the agreement, the Young Fellows will receive 20-year naming rights valued at $220,000. So that includes $200,000 in funding and $20,000 of work in kind. And now that we have approval on this project, we will look forward to getting started right away. This just goes to benefit the partnerships we already have in place with the Young Fellows. They've got the paddling pool right across the street, and I think that the park will really encompass what the club means to the community and what they can provide back to the community. So I'm very excited to make that announcement tonight, and obviously we've got some members here in attendance. And I just want to say thank you, and thank you for coming tonight, and I look forward to working on the project in the future.
Your President Ray, are you the president now, or if you would just say one word there, if you wish, just.
I told Ray you wouldn't have to speak if he didn't want to, but.
Just a very quick, turn the mic on there. You can.
All right. Not really sure what to say. We're proud and pleased to be in work with the city of Weyburn and have a park named after us right across from the paddling pool, the spray park there. So.
Yes, and that's what we wanted to hear. And so thank you and very much. And now it's going to be, your sign will be going up soon for the Young Fellows.
Yeah, I believe it's in the works right now and going to go up shortly, right?
So, very good. Thank you. On to the next business, property sale. Charlie.
The city previously received an offer to purchase from Derek Schenner for a total of 0.7 acres at the market price of $12,000 per acre for bare land, which amounted to $8,640 plus GST. The applicant was proposing to use the land for a tire repair and workshop. Mr. Schenner has submitted a new offer to purchase parcel east of Almer Street. Description is Block 3, Lot 14 to 17, Plan AZ 357, a total of 0.3 acres, together with lots 409 to 415, Almer Street. Description Block 3, Lot 24 to 31, Plan AZ 357, which is a total of 0.5 acres. Mr. Schenner also intends to purchase a lane described as Street Lane 10, Plan AZ 357, to join both parcels together. The parcel east of Almer Street is zoned for both mixed use and parks and open space. The lots 409 to 411 Almer Street are zoned as parks and open space, while lot 415 is mixed use. Public notices are required to be issued prior to the sale, as sections of the parcels are designated for park purposes in the official community plan. Public notices will be advertised in the newspaper at City Hall and on the City of Weyburn website, in addition to being sent out to registered owners within a 75-meter radius of the property. Council approval is required for a sale of this nature, as it has not been advertised for sale, as well as being designated as parks and open space. The applicant is proposing to build a 1,600 square foot tire and workshop on parcels 409 to 415 Almer Street, and the parcel east of Almer Street will be used for advertising purposes. Both parcels are zoned mixed use as well as parks and open space. The parcels are located in the flood fringe overlay zone. Therefore, all new construction must be adequately flood-proof to a minimum of 0.5 meters above the 1 to 500 year flood elevation. The land is not currently advertised by the City of Weyburn. Council approval is required for the sale.
Motion, please.
We're not finished.
By me? Oh, sorry.
So if we look on the image here, the highlighted sections in light blue are the parcels in question, and the section in the diagonal line is the lane. Okay.
And for clarification, Shirley, did he purchase or he wanted to purchase already?
He wanted to purchase, so if you scroll down on the image or if you make it smaller, so from 415 down to 403 or 405 he wanted to purchase, but 405 is a parking lot for, or park, so we took that out of the sale.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's okay with 409 to 415 plus the other parcels.
But I mean, this was similar to what he was purchasing before?
Pardon?
Well, this was what he was purchasing before?
Yes, in addition to the other lots. Yeah.
Okay.
The sale will be contingent upon the following conditions. So successful approval of a discretionary use development permit in the mixed-use district, consolidation and registration of the parcels at the cost of the purchaser, rezoning of the parcels identified as parks and open space to mixed use at the cost of the purchaser, amending the land use designation map of the official community plan at the cost of the purchaser. The development of the tire repair and workshop is required within 2 years of the closing date of the agreement. The land sold is as is, where is, meaning any improvements, upgrades to roads, services, and other infrastructure is to be at the cost of the purchaser. The city standard sale agreement conditions: off-site development levies will be applicable separate from the purchase price at a rate of $4.51 per square foot, which will be charged at the development permit stage. So we have some options here for council. Option 1, approve the sale of Block 3, Lot 14 to 17, Plan AZ 357, and Block 3, Lot 24 to 31, Plan AZ 357 to Derek Schenner for the purchase price offered of $9,600 plus GST, with the conditions listed above, and that the city clerk be authorized to sign said sale agreement. Option 2, deny the sale of Block 3, Lot 14 to 17, Plan AZ 357, and Block 3, Lot 24 to 31, Plan AZ 357 to Derek Schenner, and direct administration to advise the applicant of the denial. Reasons for denial would have to be provided. So staff recommendation is option 1, that council approves the sale of Block 3, Lot 14 to 17, Plan AZ 357, and Block 3, Lot 24 to 31, Plan AZ 357, to Derek Schenner for the purchase price offered of $9,600 plus applicable GST, subject to the conditions listed above.
Your Worship, I'll make a motion that council approves the sale of Block 3, Lot 14 through 17, Plan AZ 357, and Block 3, Lots 24 to 31, AZ 357, to Derek Schenner for the offered purchase price of $9,600 plus applicable GST, subject to conditions 1 through 7 that Shirley did a great job of reading off, and I won't subject you to again, and also that the off-site development levies will be applicable separate from the purchase price at a rate of $4.51 per square foot, which will be charged at the development permit stage.
Your Worship, I'll second that motion.
Discussion? Go ahead.
Thanks, Your Worship. Shirley, you got lots of work in that neighborhood right now. That's good to see, though. I'm excited to see the development. I'm looking for a little clarification on condition 5. It says the development is required within 2 years of the closing date. So what does that mean? Does that mean the doors have to be open for business within 2 years, or does that mean the development has to, or construction has to have started?
It would have to have started and be close to completion.
Substantial completion.
Yeah.
And this is a hard question, I know, but what if that doesn't happen?
That's a good.
What'll happen then, Councilor Richards, is that the city would go back to the property owner and look at the permit and review that permit, and in some cases, we may take that property back.
Right.
Does that not mean the conditions within that?
Okay. And I don't expect that's going to happen, but it's, it just is unclear in there sometimes with things like that. But I think this is a great project, and I'm excited to see it. Thanks for your work on this one, Shirley.
I think Councilor Richards, if you remember, probably 8 years ago when both of us started here, that there was a couple properties that had been left, and we ended up taking them back simply because they.
And I often wonder if we should. I often wondered sometimes if we should strengthen that language in those conditions. I don't know that to be true, but certainly something to think about going forward.
I think there was only about one that ever happened to us. Usually people go forward with, and it's not too often that we there. Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. We have the next one is the police budget request. Laura.
On July 18th, 2024, the Weyburn Board of Police Commission requested an unbudgeted expenditure of up to $90,000 for consulting fees to be presented to Weyburn City Council for approval. The budget overage will come from general operating surplus, or if there is a deficit at December 31st, from general reserves.
Worship, I'd make the motion that council approve an unbudgeted expenditure of up to $90,000 for consulting fees for the Weyburn Police Commission. The overage will come from general operating surplus, or if there's a deficit at December 31st, 2024, will come from general reserves.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Discussion? Seeing none.
Your Worship.
Go ahead.
Just recognize that council is putting a lot of faith into Police Commission to do the right thing in this circumstance.
Thank you. Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Police Commission appointment. There was a little while ago here, we had Mr. Van Betju, who was on the Police Commission for many years, resigned, and as the bylaw states that the mayor is always on the Police Commission, plus 2 council and 3 citizens at large, although we had 4 at one time and then we're back to 3. There was we need a replacement, and I would recommend that Councillor Morissette take this position if you're willing to take this position on Police Commission.
I would be happy to accept. Thank you.
Discussion?
I'll second the motion.
So, So call it question.
Your worship, point of order.
Okay.
We should probably make the motion.
All right. I think he thought I made the motion, but I guess I can't make the motion, so I'll get you to make the motion.
Do you want it, John? Okay. All right. I'm pleased to move that Councillor Morissette be appointed to the Weyburn Police Commission effective immediately.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Welcome to the Police Commission. Queries and announcements. Mr. Higgs.
Oh, sir. I just had a question in regards to 16th Street and the progress and how it's coming and what residents can expect for completion. I've heard some comments, so.
Sure. So the progress is, it's going good. We're expecting another week for the storm drain or storm main replacement portion of the work. That's the underground portion. They came across a few unplanned, like unforeseen add-ons, I guess, just with a manhole replacement that was unplanned for. So, and then we had some weather delays earlier at the beginning of the project due to the stormwater with those heavy rains. But yeah, that was all mitigated, and after they're done the underground portion of the work, we will still should have enough time to do the curb and gutter replacement as well as the asphalt repairs along that roadway. So we're looking at probably another few weeks till full completion where we can have traffic open, like it open up to full traffic again.
Okay, so yeah, you answered the second part of my question. That was the second part already with the curbing and the pavement. Is there any way you're able to start that, or you just got to finish the project and then do that piece?
Yeah, so they should be able to start on the south side of the block on the concrete portion before their underground portion's completely done, and kind of follow them. But again, it's quite congested when we start bringing in concrete trucks and another additional crew with all the equipment and materials on site for the underground portion. So we're just making sure that we have a good timeline getting to the end at Cotto before we start the concrete, so we don't run into...
Where you catch up to them or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, fair. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. Now that school's back in, I like to think that this is Communathon season. Communathon itself is about 6 weeks away, and fundraisers have already started. There is going to be a comedy night at the Legion on Friday, hilariously enough, the 13th this week. So if anybody still wants tickets, there's a fantastic dinner at the Legion and then a great night of comedy. So I encourage people to get out and support Communathon.
Andrew?
Okay, I just wanted to use this as a platform to give a bit of an update on the pool situation. As we're all aware, last week we had to make a last-minute cancellation to the start of our season over at the Weyburn Leisure Centre. Our crews worked extremely hard getting everything ready. The facility was looking spectacular. We were looking forward to allowing people into our building for the start of our fall season. Public health came, our water samples were good, and our temperature was where it needed to be, and we were ready to go. And then suddenly we noticed a leak in the basement. So with that, we've been forced to drain the pool and go on a bit of a hunt for where the problem is coming from. So we've had some structural engineers visit the site, give us some ideas as where to look, as they were unable to identify the issue when they were on site. So we are just kind of working through some processes now, doing some pressure testing of the lines. We have to do some further inspections of our pool basin as well. And then once we get some results from all those tests, we will be able to begin to lay out our roadmap for opening the facility back up. We are going in with high hopes that we can tackle this quickly, but we'll have to just wait and see what those reports say. So it feels like I've had to do this too many times in the last 5 or 6 years, but I just want to thank the patience of the community for what they've shown with the facility closure. And, we want no more than to get our user groups back into that space and have them making use of our facility. But we just ask that the community bear with us as we try to work through the repairs and open up again to the public.
And that's one of the things that I'd like to say is that this, for the community's understanding, because this building is older and there's a shelf life, and as discussed with some of the administration earlier today, the Regina pool, that new Regina pool is worth like 220 million, and ours would be a third of that, so close to 70 million that you're talking.
Yeah, so part of this year's budget, we had an assessment done of our facilities and the replacement cost. There's a window because we received a D estimate, so there's quite a span from the low end to the high end of what potential costs could be. But it is a substantial amount if we were to look at a full-on replacement of the facility. So there may be some different ways we have to go about conducting maintenance or capital repairs if we want to extend the life of the facility versus replacement. I do plan on presenting to council something further, like a further report on those assessments, because we had them done for the pool as well as the rinks, and they're all in similar kind of states or situations where they're starting to age out.
Right, and that's the unfortunate part, that we don't plan maybe soon enough for the aging out of these facilities that you end up happening. The last question I was going to say, that the Young Fellows Park, and although this is not, you just got everything approved here tonight, when is the starting date? Are you going to be doing is there an idea that they're going to be doing anything in this fall? Or besides putting up the sign, or just?
Yeah, so we do have a little bit in our budget for some basic site work. I mentioned some in-kind work as part of the agreement. We hope to get some of that done this year, and then you'll see in my proposed budget numbers as we move into 2025, we plan on starting phase 1 in 2025.
Good. Anything else? Everything seems to be going good that way. The next meeting will be?
September 23rd, Your Worship.
On there. There's no notice of motions, and with that, we'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today